I feel incredibly blessed to have such an extraordinary mother. My mom lived a heroic life, and I can't thank her enough for everything she did for us. During these days after my mom's passing, I remember that about 10 years ago, Mom had written a short story of her life and some words that she wanted to leave us, and she gave it to me to keep. I finally found it yesterday, and I read it, and it was so beautiful because it gives insight into her beautiful heart. She shared in her writing about one of the most heroic and hardest things she did for her family. And that was when she left her husband and 2 children in India to come to America. She was away from her husband and her 2 little boys for a whole year. Any mother here knows how incredibly difficult that is. In her writing, she described this year apart from them as miserable because she missed them so much. But she endured this suffering so she could bring her family to America to give them more opportunities to meet their potential. It was an act of heroic motherly love, and for this, we are so incredibly grateful. Some years after Mom was able to bring my dad and my brothers to America, she became pregnant with me. She would tell me often about how nervous she was being pregnant while trying to get adjusted to a new country. She even told me that some people were encouraging her to end her pregnancy, saying that it would be too difficult for her to continue while trying to settle in. Of course, she did not listen because she was never one to give in to fear. I'm so incredibly thankful for that. After I was born, she changed her work shift from the day shift to the night shift so she could take care of me all day and then go to work in the evening after my dad came home from work. I better understand now, being a mom, how hard that must have been to take care of a baby all day and then work a night shift. I'm so incredibly thankful for that. Over the years, growing up, being the only girl in the house, we had a very special relationship. We were both very outspoken and opinionated, so there was definitely the typical mom and daughter conflicts growing up, but it was all in love, and we were always very close. Some of my favorite memories of her from my childhood is her making gingerbread cookies for me and surprising me with gifts during Christmas time. I remember all her motherly acts of love that is so natural in a home, the hugs and kisses, her beautiful smile, the smell of her cooking, and seeing her take care of our home with much love and intention. For this, I'm so thankful. But the most precious times I have had with my mother that I can remember are the times she was with me for each and every one of my pregnancies and caring for me and my babies after giving birth. These are the times that I cherish with my mom, and it was during this phase of my life where I had a much greater appreciation for all that my mom had done for me. This was when my relationship with Mom went from good to great. This is when we started talking to each other every single day, and our relationship matured into a beautiful friendship. When I started having kids, I was working full-time, so Mom took care of my oldest, Jaden, and my second oldest, Joa, every day, all day, for 3 years, until they were ready to start preschool. Mom took them to Mass every single day and took excellent care of them, and was very intentional with their spiritual formation and teaching them how to read and write. We even had a Keeler Home graduation once they were ready to go to school, which is such a precious memory. I'm so incredibly thankful to Mom for those precious years. After having more children, I resigned from my career to take care of them, and Mom no longer needed to help me every day, but she was my biggest supporter and cheerleader. She was so thankful that I had the opportunity to be with my kids, and would say she would have done the same if she was able to, but she couldn't. So it meant a lot to her. She often talked about how she wishes she could have spent more time with her kids, and she's making up for it by spending lots of time with her grandkids. Mom had a unique relationship with each of us. It was when she was with my husband Jens that I would see her laugh the most. She would laugh so hard and start coughing, and we had to tell Jens to stop with the jokes. She would joke back with him too, and it was so awesome to see this particular side to her. She had a special bond with each of our kids and was so excited to hear everything that's going on with them, and she played such a significant role in their life. For this, I am so incredibly thankful. By far the greatest gift she gave us, though, was the gift of faith. All throughout these years, Mom lived a life striving for holiness. Her goal in life was to persevere in her faith and bring others closer to Christ. She knew her faith on an intellectual level and always sought to learn more and more, as you can never stop learning, as she would say. So some of my cherished memories of her are the long philosophical and theological conversations she would have with me and Jens and our older kids. What she would talk about the most is the virtue of humility, the true meaning of it, and how important it is to our spiritual life. She would also talk about the importance of doing even the smallest acts with great love, making all things ordinary extraordinary. She always carried herself with elegance and beauty, always paying attention to the smallest details of her appearance, because she knew she was a temple of the Holy Spirit and wanted to honor God by the way she carried herself. For this amazing example of faith, I will forever be so thankful. Something Mom would always tell me that I think is very important to share with you is this. She would often say, Sheena, I know when I pass away, you would believe that I'm in heaven, and I hope for that too. But please, never make the mistake of not praying for my soul. So I would ask everyone here to please continue praying for her soul. Lastly, I want to share with you the last line of the writing that she gave me. She wrote, God bless you all. Please understand and learn God's unconditional love for us and remain in His love always.